Alright, we back. My expert opinion, the greatest show in the world. And I'll say that every single episode. And all of you guys is tuning in, I know you feel the same way. So I want to say thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share. Let everybody know you in here. It don't cost you no paper. Unless you's a mother hater.
There you go.
Oh man, you gotta get a part of me, man. I'm operating off of
fumes.
3 hours of sleep after like 48 hours. It's the grind though. It's the grind. If you wanna shine, you gotta grind. It is what it is. I hate to start the episode off like this, but I do want to pay my respects to someone that was a friend of mine, someone that experienced a large amount of success in the web series field. Boom P of Respect Life passed away today. And I just want to have a moment of silence. Thank you, y'all. My condolences to his family, to his loved ones, to the yard. You know, if there's anything I can help with, reach out. Mac,
Salute,
how you doing, sir?
Let's go with you.
Sean Bigger, man of God. Marco Polo, what's going on, man?
I'm here.
Yo, I swear, Marco, you need to be an emoji face, bro. Like, you just,
It's unique, right? It's
right?
unique.
Yeah, he's unique. He's very unique. He's very unique.
Congratulations on all your success, man. You deserve it, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Hey, let's give Polo a round of applause.
Yeah.
Polo
made this happen. Polo made this happen. Splat.
Grass. R.I.P. my boy Boom P. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? Have me, my boy Mav, working, running around crazy and Respect Life.
Facts.
Whatever y'all need, y'all know to reach out. The whole cast, the whole court, y'all know what's up.
Facts.
Best style.
Champ, how we feeling?
I'm feeling well, feeling blessed, glad to be free, not in the system. Rest in peace to P as well, man. Salute. Condolences to him and his family. Shout out YKTV Magazine. You know the vibes. I love that jacket that you got on.
It's fire, right?
Yeah, I love that jacket you got on, bro. Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And this is credited to
Aesthetic BK, my boy Hoodie and
Aesthetic
Cracks.
BK. Shout out to
Aesthetic
you,
BK,
man.
Park Slope, Brooklyn.
Yeah, we need like a bunch of colors for MECC, Bigger, and the whole crew. We need to get that.
Yeah, no, that's easy.
Right. Yeah, this is nice. Yo, you've been doing a lot of producing lately, man.
Yeah, I've been in my you know what, I'm gonna keep it real. Since 19 Keys came and gave us that gold water, I tapped that
more.
Bro,
I
tried it. I drank the whole shit.
Bro,
Yeah,
I took it in drops.
Take it like a
The
shot.
gold water?
Bro, I was taking it like a shot too.
I did.
What the hell y'all
That should
doing?
be having me mad
Shout out to 19
focused.
Keys.
It's infused with
Mad
gold.
focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one drop before food. You ain't supposed to be
One drop.
Yeah, it's just a
you're
drop.
supposed
It's
to-
a thing.
Man,
No freaky.
I've been waking up like goo, goo, goo.
Nah.
Let's go.
I do the shot, and then we in the studio, you see how I be in the corner. Like, I don't care about nothing else that's going on. I want to make the music.
Right.
Let me get this out the way. And I'm like laser focused on every single like detail of
I
everything.
need some of that.
Shout out to
That
19
shit.
Keys.
Yeah, shout out
And
to
meditation
19
too,
Keys.
obviously. Meditation
Shout out
as
to
well.
19 Keys.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta say, this is a long time coming. I want to start this by rewinding. I was about 17. 17. There was this rapper that came on the scene and, oh my God, and we just heard this nigga. He was like, who the fuck is this?
Facts.
Like, it's very rare that someone would have a top position on a clue tape that you never heard about.
Word. Unheard of.
Very rare.
You had to fight to get to that.
Unheard of.
And when I say I brought these freestyles back so many times, it altered the way I rap. But I'm also very, I like to compete.
Right.
So I heard that this person was gonna be at a spot called Hardcore on Flatbush Avenue, open mic. And there were rumors that he was always open to battle anybody. I mean, I read stories about him going up against the whole Wu-Tang. That's Wu-Tang. How do you even do that? It's crazy, right? So I said, yo, I want to battle this guy.
How old was you, man? How old was
17.
you? 17, goddamn.
So I wrote some rhymes. I bust my brain for like 3-4 days. Came outside to all my niggas and I announced, yo, I'm going to Hardcore to battle this guy. My niggas looked at me and they said, don't shout the block out.
You ain't gonna embarrass us.
Disrespect. Don't get us caught up in your bullshit, man. Leave us out of it. And that's a testimony, because you're looking at a battle rap legend. That's a testimony to the greatness of the pen. This man. We got Canibus in
Woo!
That's
Don't
crazy,
shout the block out.
That's a crazy story.
It is.
That's gotta be the craziest one I ever heard.
And low key, that moment probably made me not only very petty, but much better at what I was doing. Because I felt like, oh, y'all niggas don't believe?
But you're so aggressive, dog. Always been that way. That's a crazy story, man. The block, that's how they, you know what's the wildest thing? I'm sure there are a lot of stories like that. I don't know what turned Canibus, the brand, or just that little dude writing like that, what turned me into some kind of a bounty for just the lyric, like what turned me into a bounty.
You know what turns you into.
This is the thing. This is the thing. And I said it up on another venue when I was faced with the same kind of question. Anytime I sat down and I wrote and I was trying to just say the most incredible stuff, whatever I could say on with that pen and then vocal it and then voice inflection, everything. Really what I was doing it for, I wasn't doing it to get a bounty. I was doing it because that was my way of saying, here's my resume. Can I rap with y'all? That's the honest truth. And dealing with some of the names you mentioned and just how it was in general was a very, very aggressive time. Those times, like anything goes. And there was no way to record it. You know, people had 8mm film or 16, there was really no recording going on. So it was really only word of mouth legend. And so sometimes, you might not really crush the cipher, because we call it ciphering too. It wasn't always battling, man. If you're old enough to remember that.
I'll
It was
battle
ciphering
you
too.
on the net.
That's good.
I'll battle you in the flesh. I'll battle you over the phone. You can call me collect.
Yeah, I eat that.
You were giving out open invitations to niggas.
It was a mixtape.
Every track, it was an open invitation. Step up, nigga. I'm out here fucking niggas up. What's up?
How else was I gonna get Clue to be like, yo, this is going on my mixtape first. Yo, this the first joke. Tony Touch.
Right.
50 MCs. I said something about the 50 MCs. It was my self-promotion. It was all I had to work with.
Right.
Was the pen, the voice, and that opportunity over that beat.
Right.
But
That's what I did.
But you was out there battling niggas.
Yeah, that's a
I
testament.
mean, a ciphering really. The battling, what y'all do now, and I gotta just give it up off from the jump. Just keep it all the way a buck, right? It's Fendi Federal Facts. What y'all do now and call battle rap is ferocious. It's not what was how it started. The way it goes down now, it is like pit fighting now. Y'all standing in front of each other, crazy close, and you're talking about weapons that I don't even know if some of them exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? An arms room, right? For somebody who's seen a lot of arms rooms.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and just what's, you know, what can be said, the type of, I wouldn't even really know what type of, you know what I'm saying, psychology that it's hard to even put them into that classify. What does it take to go in there and do that to bring home the bacon? You see what I mean? With the class.
It takes 10 Canibus freestyles. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Canibus freestyle, baby. That's
like we're not gonna sit here and act like. One, I gotta ask you, how the fuck was you talking niggas into being like, okay, yeah, I know you asked for 16, but I got 57. How was you doing that?
I think a lot of that too, like I want to send a shout out to Redman, Beast from the East.
Right.
Redman was the one that Cheeks, shout out to Cheeks Lost Boys.
Yeah.
The record happened because of them.
Right.
Charles Suit, you know, Tim Dog, Love, Peace and Happiness, Uptown Records, all that, right? Universal.
Right.
But outside of Cheeks saying, all right, cool, and LB, you know, Spig, Louis Vuitton saying, all right, go ahead, get to it, bitch. Because remember, I was co-managing them. I was general manager of Group Home Entertainment, so I was booking shows for them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 6 bands a night, 24 bands a week, 96 bands a month. I was doing that. And at the same time, I always wanted to rhyme. I always wanted to be on the records. I was around when Legal Drug Money was released on Uptown Records.
Right.
Super Mario, God bless him, was, you know what I'm saying, like they call him Super Mario. You know why they call him Super Mario?
No.
Because he could jump so high and put the posters outside.
Oh,
Super
shit.
Mario.
That's street team.
Shout out to
Wow.
Super Mario. He was
Yeah,
the one that
right.
Puff had bailed out for 25 bands. Super Mario. So Beast from the East happened because Redman didn't mind me doing the 50 bars. I know he probably ran through his mind, why is he doing this? But he let it happen. So that was the kind of energy that Tony Tuss let me do them bars on there.
Right.
You know, Clue let me go in there and get busy like that.
Right.
Rakim let me put those bars on that. And
Firm.
no one ever, they let me get busy with that, right? Shout out to the whole Firm clique, you know what I'm saying? Steve Starr, everybody that helped that happen. And then Jamel, who took me up there, then 4321, it was Panama PI, Too Cold to Hold. It was a lot of records, but they were allowing me to do that. And so
why were they allowed?
I think because there was still a heart in hip hop in terms of, instead of shutting it down, they wanted to see how far I could go with the rhyme. They wanted to see me run with it.
They fed in. They fed into the mystique.
It's like watching You With Ill Will.
Right.
You wanted to see the pressure that was applied to you in order to see how's you gonna get out of this pretzel.
Right.
And you did.
Yeah.
Right?
A wild film.
Yeah, but these are the
Shout
things.
out to Ill Will.
Yeah, shout out.
Right.
But those are the things that, you know, people want to see it because it is something that's it's customized, man. How you get out of that pretzel.
Right. But when we talk about hip hop, it being so competitive and so ego driven, the fact that so many people were willing to turn down their egos to let you take off. Because me personally, I couldn't do it. Like, I mean, yeah, I'll let you rock, but I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. The next time you got a joint, I'm going 100 on your shit. You know what I mean?
So watch this.
You know what I'm saying?
I know
nobody wasn't getting them back. Nobody wasn't getting them back.
I know you're cut from that cloth.
Right.
And I'm not like that anymore. I can't do that anymore. I can still go ahead and go for mines and make a record sound good when it's all said and done and it's gonna be hip hop.
Right.
But at that time, when you wanted to come down to hardcore, I had 4 hours of rhymes in my head. It wasn't 30 pages of rhymes in this bitch in this motherfucker. It wasn't that. It was really 4 hours. I just talked to Smooth the Hustler the other night, and he already knows this, but Broken Language, the beat, I had it recorded on a 90-minute tape back to back where you put it in the Sony or the Denon and it goes all the way, and then it flips over by itself, and then goes all the way back as you can select. You know them Jones.
Yeah.
That was my workout tape. So I just sit there and rhyme for it till the 4 hours, and I could skip to any rhyme at any point, so you wouldn't even know that it wasn't off the head or what have you, and it was really like that.
Yeah.
I was really doing, or he was doing that back then.
Right.
I got to speak about it in the third person because it was true.
Right.
Can I do that now? No. Do I know how I was doing it then? No. Maybe
It
it's
was
just,
the focus, the repetition.
and youth, just having the memory, being able to keep all that in your
You
head.
could take Genko, that should have come right.
Genko. I need some of that gold stuff you talking about.
I got you.
Listen, man, look, there's a battle rap regiment diet of things that you eat
Right.
to treat your memory.
I'm learning, man.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
was, look, when I genuinely wanted to give back to it as much as I could, I wanted to put into that genre of the culture. It seemed like I almost, jumped out the window for battle rap or for that style of rapping on every record that I could get my hands on or a chance to do.
But the reason why that scene wanted to see you on the scene is because of the content, the lyrical content that you was delivering.
I got on the track with Brian McKnight and I was screaming on the mic. When I got opportunity to rock with Brian McKnight, I wasn't even thinking.
But it was like, I was talking
Like we gonna talk about that in the pussy. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. I was upset. I was just like y'all are now. But I was doing it as extreme as I could then. And I remember the A&Rs used to look at me. Shout out to Dino DeValier. He'd look at me and he'd say, Canibus, why don't you just put a hook in here, man? Like, bars. And I'd be like, yo, all right. He'd leave the studio, I'd leave it just the way, maybe add bars to it.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to get on stage and do 100 bars, I'm saying I should have listened to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
No.
100 bars on stage now.
I don't agree. And I'm gonna tell you why. A milli. Yo, bro, so many records. Cameron, 357.
Yeah,
357.
Jump off the high, make your sky dive.
6 foot,
Bro, that
7
was a
foot.
single.
Yeah.
It was a
The
single.
Magnum P.I. joint.
Six,
You know what I'm saying?
6 foot,
Yeah.
7 foot.
But I feel like the structure that they was trying to put on you wasn't your structure. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you'd have did one of those, and that was the single, imagine that.
I don't know if you want to push a whole album of that. I think that's where the A&Rs was coming from.
Bro, this is, I don't think you niggas understand. Every time you heard this nigga, he was spitting like 50 bars on a rapper that we love's track.
It's the difference between having a dude who puts numbers on the board and one, and then putting them in the NBA. The rules are different. It doesn't take away from the skill factor. It doesn't mean what he's doing out there makes him any less. But there's rules. They got rules in here that you need to format it like this in order for us to be successful.
Fuck the rules.
Well,
And you're a pro now. You're a pro. You understand
Right.
now how it gets to when you start getting to the budgets. That's
Yeah.
why you wore one jacket in here instead. Everybody got jackets. I want one of those. But there's a budget.
Champ, see now you got me looking crazy.
There's a budget.
Champ was supposed to wear his shit.
Everybody
Nah,
supposed to
put
have
it
a
on.
jacket.
Nah.
Champ didn't wear his shit.
Budgets.
Yeah.
When it's budgets and we rapping like how we was rapping, it's always one A&R in the group just like, where's the hook at? Like, how many just on the radio? I just, complaining. It was always one A&R.
But that's my issue with the industry. When you sign this guy, you knew who the fuck he was.
They wanted me to change my name, Hoff. They said, yo, change Canibus. You can't have that name. You know how
It's
scared I
marijuana.
was?
It's a
You know how nervous I
marijuana.
was?
marijuana.
Huh?
It's marijuana.
Yeah. But now, look at it. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
That's the whole, I'm Jamaican, right? But the whole thing, and I spelt it different.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, those kinds of things was going on. We were now, you know what I'm saying? Thanks to you and so many others, right? The Dynamics Joint, like so many others.
Right.
Battle rap now it's what it would have been like a Disney World to me
Right.
if it had happened
Back
then.
then. Yeah.
Right, even just to participate, not to dominate, but just to participate. So that's what it
Imagine
was. Back then, the A&Rs didn't want to hear that,
They
man.
didn't.
They didn't want to have nothing to do with
They
it.
put a
man.
cap on your creativity.
But
Listen,
but
man.
this is why. But then
And we still moved numbers too. The record still moved. But like I said, screaming on the mic with Brian McKnight It's just not the way to go.
but it just said, I'm Canibus.
Right.
No matter what fucking situation you put me in.
Clef was the only
gonna be
one. He was the only one that let me just go.
Shout out to Clef, man.
He was the only one that let me go.
Shout out to Clef. Now let's should we?
Yep.
Is now the time?
Yep. 100%.
Eminem called you out.
Oh, can you say that name on this?
Yes, I can. He watches the show, by the way.
Marshall Mathers.
Wow.
Yes, shout out
He
to
was
Marshall.
actually the first person to co-sign the show. Shout out to Marshall. Definitely gave me a beautiful co-sign early in the game. You know what I mean? But he called you out. And for the rest of us, it was like, oh shit. Oh, let's see what's about to happen.
So, okay, the name you just said.
Jesus Christ.
Like Voldemort.
Yeah.
It's like Voldemort.
Hey, right. Hey, listen.
Yo.
It's not a name. It's not a person. It's not just a brand. It's an institution. You know this by now. There's so much involved with trying to dance with that, right? Because when one entity, one institution pays so many checks, and there's so much riding on that, just his peace of mind, sit down, right, make the records that he made, those hits. Nobody's gonna allow you to mess with his energy, his distraction, or not even be a problem. They're gonna, not this situation in particular, but in if we're watching a movie, what do they do? They're gonna, inject you with something, break one arm, and then throw you in the ring with them. You understand what I mean? They need the institution to be, not to say that he don't get busy and go for the crown and do what he do, but add a $1 billion company on top of that. Right?
Right.
And to tell you the truth, battle rap is battle rap, but the distinction between what I experienced and what, I'm sure some battle rappers experienced this, but I'm not gonna say what label, but I had a $6 million bounty on, if I had a show for $7,500, that label would pay the promoter double.
To not book you.
Right. So paying that label double to not book me means that even if I get my first half for the show, the promoter call back and say, hey, look, we had a problem with the venue, but look, just keep the first half. And they take the double that was paid to them plus my second half. So this was going on. When it was going on, I didn't know. Because once again, I was running around with blinders on. I didn't understand institutions. And I didn't even know that rap had that kind of thing going on.
How did you find out that was happening to you?
I'm assuming the Cool J situation.
Well, in certain situations, whenever I had a homie that's smashing one of the broads up there, one of the VPs, man, and she just told him. And then he came back and told me.
So your
this
your
is
conspiracy theory is based on a chick.
Conspiracy
It's not a
theory.
theory.
Killer talking.
Is what you said.
I mean, how can I prove that though?
How could you not?
Well, you want me dragging in here? I don't even know where she at. Like,
No, but I mean, not just one source.
Hold on, we just asked him why he didn't shoot back at Eminem.
Eminem, and he's giving us the answer.
Well, real quick. So at that time, you not having the knowledge you have of the game, you felt like you wasn't comfortable enough or maybe confident enough to go against him because of the institution, all that shit that was going on?
Okay, good question. I don't know if you even remember a record called See True Hollywood Stories. I don't even know if you remember it. Everybody, it's like the weakest record probably I ever did. It was a satire album, but I don't know, it wasn't really received that well. It did pretty well for like a little underground record. It's still selling, it's still on Amazon, right? But at the time, it got me to a lot of trouble. So I put the record out and I brought Stan back to life, right?
What year was this?
This was 2001.
Okay.
Like I took the part where for the interlude where Stan was going crazy and was driving and drove off the bridge and splashed in the water, and the interlude started with me in the rain going to catch the plane, and I saw the car crash happen, and I told my man Pac-Man, Sean Wright, shout out to Big Pac-Man, and we pulled over and we jumped in the water and brought Stan back to the show and stayed and gave him CPR and everything. I wouldn't do that today because you don't want to catch the virus or something. But you don't want to catch the new variant, right? With some fentanyl on you or something. But we brought him back to life.
Right.
And then we ran the ad in the Source, right? It was a $25,000 page ad, by the way. We was independent, right? We was independent.
Charge more.
And we bought the ad.
What you mad at me for?
Yeah, but we bought the ad and we ran the ad where Stan was writing a letter to Eminem to say, hey, yo, how you doing? You know, Marshall, I'm with Canibus now. You look, no hard feelings. I'm not mad at you. I just wanted to come out on the road and he got me on tour with, right?
Yeah.
So we were looking to make a little bit of noise off of that so I can really have Stan on the road with me.
Right.
The guy that took the picture for the album cover, his name is David Anders, who's now like a super movie star. But at the time, he just wanted to use, yo, Canibus, can I use this for my glossies? I said, fine, you know? We were gonna go to England. We were in England already. When the record came out, we were gonna take that money, just wrap the van, the ambulance, make it look like it was American, right? Get the tour bus, go on tour. 175 bands came in back in 01. You know, the label that said artist we talking about was on, had sued Selecto Hits, the label to put out the independent record, sent them, you know, something this thick saying, you know, if you put this out, you know, we're gonna sue you. All the pages in there was like this thick, it was like 300-400 pages with stuff like dealing with 3 6 Mafia, stuff like that, right? But on page, so Johnny Phillips, shout out to Johnny Phillips Sr., he has like that real Elvis catalog and stuff. He called Interscope to find out what's going on.
Right.
He had our check, right? 175. And you know, when he spoke up there to the legal team up there, they said, look, go to page 202. He said, all right, that's our problem. We can make your problem go away if you make our problem go away.
What
And-
was on 200?
With the Lost Canibus with the page standing there with the C2 Hollywood Stories joint. They wanted him to not pay us a dime so that to just make it all go away. Because remember, I was about to take Stan on tour. I was about to shoot a video. In 01, the video would have been a real video,
Right.
you know, 16 millimeter film.
Right.
You know, we were getting that celluloid film from a school over there that did film, and they had leftover film.
Right.
And we were getting real 16 millimeter celluloid film.
Right.
And we were gonna take this 175, I take my cut, 50 and change,
Right.
and make it happen. That was like kiboshed. Why? It goes back to what you're saying. I can't prove it, but obviously, man, you got your #1 star thoroughbred, man. You're not gonna allow that to get distracted with all this. We got other stuff we doing, you know?
I can't. I don't know if I can follow that, bro. I don't know.
Why didn't you go to the mix CD?
Say again?
The mix CD. Because you was the king.
Mixtapes.
So, you know, funny enough, when I had my publishing deal, right, I was supposed to get a second installment on my publishing. And don't want to say the guy's name because, you know, he was chairman of that company at the time. It's a huge publishing company. And I signed to them initially because he said that you always have work, Canibus. You're such an incredible writer. We could always use you for other stuff, you know, voiceovers, all that stuff. And to tell you the truth, you know, I would have wanted to been like the Shrek voice or, you know, one of them Darth Vader voices on one of them Jones. I was into that, right? And I signed to them for that reason because I knew that I would always have work outside of. And so he had said to me, same thing you said, when, you know, my second album, this third album was gonna come out with Universal. He would paying me to record my third album. And he was saying, you know, you should go to the mixtape scene. Look, man, I was maybe like 24, 25. And I had already pretty much like, you know, for the first album, I traveled the world with Clef. Right? Passport had so many stamps and I had to get a new passport.
Right.
I'd seen so much and been so many places and knew what rap can do at a max level. That going back to the mixtape scene for me, it was like
Going back local.
it wasn't a bad thing. It was just that I knew that what I'm trying to do, because with internet, it was a lot of things I was trying to do. Basically, what is happening now with everybody, I was trying to do that then.
Right.
That's what I was trying to do. Everything what it take for you to do this now, I was doing that then. My Canibus.com site had 18 million hits from September of 97 to September of 98. And it was, that traffic was collected by a company called Alexis. Look it up. I think Google bought them. That was real. I could prove it to you by bringing in the sheet, but the ink's rubbed out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From storage. Like these are things that I can't even prove.
Did you have a relationship with Dr. Dre?
Never met Dre. Seen him coming outside of the Mondrian one time.
Right.
Never met him.
Never met him.
And this was when he got, you know what I'm saying, real buff, and so I wouldn't even have walked up to him when he was coming out the Mondrian. He was hopping in his little, I wouldn't even know,
Okay, so let me just, so make sure this tracks. Eminem calls you out. You don't get back at him because of the machine that would have applied pressure to your career.
I said little underground things, said little things on little songs here and there.
Yeah, but that's not what we was. That's not what a guy
That's
like.
not what we
That's
was
not
looking
sure.
for.
Yeah, it was way
No, he was going to with the whole stand
I
marketing.
tried, and they kiboshed that, right?
Uh-huh.
And funny enough, for all the real like YouTube investigators out there, you want to do YouTube forensics. At that time, when that record, when all this was going on, a movie came out when we was waiting for the money because we didn't get a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like Selecto didn't send a dime, and so that was dead. I was in London. I had to do shows to get everything back up to at least be able to, you know what I mean, like keep my flat out there. There was a movie that came out at the time called Changing Lanes.
Yeah,
with Samuel L. Jackson and Ben. That's what I was going through.
Ben Affleck.
That's what I was going through. Slide my card. You know, if you remember the movie, for all the YouTube investigators, like,
Wow.
and I was just like, I was smoking a lot of turtle. Yo, listen to me, man. I was, you know, that English turtle when you mix it with the tobacco. Listen to me, man.
Right.
I was going through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, that just don't make no sense. Let me just go back to doing what I do. Basically, I looked at it as a situation where, you know, that stallion's left the barn. You know, that thoroughbred's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. And also, too, I'm gonna eat this, man. When I met him for the first time, it was at my video shoot for I Honor You, right? Mm-hmm. Clef told me he was coming. I had heard of him, you know, I heard a lot about him. Knew he rocked with the Outsiders and stuff. I knew he got busy. I had no problem with meeting him. At that time, there was a newborn on the set. The label was spanking us 2 weeks before that to say, this newborn, there's a newborn in the video for I Honor You. So when that newborn gets here, they're charging us $400 over SAG every minute for the baby being there. So they spanked everybody prior to all that. When Eminem came out you know what I'm saying, out the bench truck, the ladder wagon, he was with Jimmy Iovine and what have you. When he came out the ladder wagon, newborn on set, y'all know what to do. So I was already under that pressure. I remember that part when that happened. I was like, wow, like this can kind of wait. But and M pushed up to like, yo, Canibus, I just want to work with you. I want to do something with you. I was told right before he got there, man, like not even 5 minutes before he got there, that he ghost wrote Ripper Strikes Back and all that. Back then, man, I was so, you know, I didn't know what was going on for real. I had to rely off of what I was being told, especially if it came from a source that I trusted or what I thought was reliable.
Well,
and so,
well, at the end of the day, were they reliable sources?
no, because he didn't write it. And I was told that. And so my conversation with him was like, well, yo, why did you write that?
And what did he say?
Then he said he was embarrassed and said I didn't write it and so forth and so on. But I had destroyed the opportunity of ever really working with him again because he really was genuine about how he felt was going on. But at the time, you know, we all go through that when we get in them areas where it's like you feel like everybody out to get you when you're dealing with a titan. And now you don't know who's what's what.
Right.
And this is still a get busy profession at the time. We all rap, get on each other's track and tear each other neck bone off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something where like we doing R&B. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna make love to these girls. All right, man, you sing that part, I sing this part.
Right.
We talk about killing each other. We talk about doing all kinds. Right. So it was not knowing that wasn't true. In my mind, I was like, why would you do that? Why would you come here and want to work so bad with me? And then you ghost wrote that. I didn't know. And so that destroyed everything. Right? At least that. So, you know, yeah, man. And I wisened up, man. I wisened up. I knew that there were things where it was like, he get busy you know, at that time I was in that lane getting busy on the mic. But you know, he also had like just this thing where the stuff that he was talking about, you know, everybody wanted to hear that. They wanted to hear what he said, how he said it. There's a rhyme in there where he said square dance. He said 2 trailer park girls run around the outside. But that was from the rhyme that I had said from Box Cutter Blade Runner. So he was doing things like that, saying things in the rhyme where it was driving me crazy. I'm just keep it all the way above. It was driving me nuts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was in Amsterdam in the red light district, right? And I remember going to, you know, red light district, right? And you know, I used to go to the mix block. I go to the block where all the mixes ups are. You know, give me the mutts, right? And Shorty had the ponytails and all that. And she was in the room. She put grass in there, fake grass and stuff, right? And had on a tennis skirt and pigtails and all that. And I was standing there looking through the window, and she ran over to the radio and she doom, 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 doom. And then she started taking stuff off the disc because she's trying to get me to put money on the window to say, hey, let's, you know what I'm saying? So as I'm listening to the music, and then I hear his voice come on, right? M's voice come on, and he's talking, man, it's your biggest man. And I feel like he's talking to me. Because think about it though, right?
Oh, you got a naked bitch right in front of you. Right in front of you. And he starts listening to the lyrics.
That's the first time the song came out.
This is the first time you heard it.
First time.
Got you.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
He said that was the first time the song came out.
Yeah, but you was focused on the wrong thing.
But you were such so into your craft.
So if you were me, you would have walked in, you would have gave it a break, you would have went in there while his voice was playing it, while he's talking.
That's some pussy.
Okay. I hear you. All right.
All right, what the fuck this nigga talking about, man? All right, yeah, okay. Yo.
Maybe I should have did that.
Yo, throw my shit. Throw my shit.
I'll give you another $5 if you change the song. Boom,
Right.
done,
Listen,
finished.
that song was an award-winning song anyway, without what it meant to me. For y'all and for the rest of the world, that song was an incredible song. Just songwriting, all that. Anyway, I don't care what none of y'all say. That record was talking to me because that's what happened when I was rude to him. And then he took his style and his ability, how he write, and his mind, and he turned it into that. That's what was driving me crazy. And you'll never be able to like be in denial about it because I lived it.
Is it because no one else understood that it was about you? Is that what drove you so
it's
crazy?
because he felt like in that moment, he created a monster. And this monster
Was that it?
was now getting the attention
And it was my fault.
that he was getting.
But it was my fault. It was my
And it
fault.
was his fault.
It was my fault. But at the time, I wasn't looking at it like it was my fault. I was looking at it like, yo, my label need to do more with me. Or the folks that I'm working with need to do more to push my shit.
Right.
I didn't understand that there's an institution involved in, you know what I'm saying, that whole craze, it was a tsunami.
Right.
And that Stand record, I don't care what you're talking about. I brought him back to life. And that was my way of writing back to say, hey, look, you know, I said whoop whoop to you. I shouldn't have did that. But you know what? I brought Stan back to life. Come on tour with me. That was my way of saying like, yo, listen, it ain't over. Don't kill Stan off. And whoever was listening, they was mad that I was trying to bring it back to life.
Right.
And I was trying to clean it up.
You feel me? It was mad.
I was trying to clean it up.
It was mad. You took too long to respond to that.
There was a lot going on underneath all that. I feel you, because I knew what was going on the block.
Right.
I knew. But at the same time, I wasn't thinking about what was going on the block because I always knew that I had those rhymes. I was stuck because I couldn't make a radio record to contend with that.
And that's where the A&R's discussion
It drove me
comes
crazy.
in.
Yeah,
You ever
that's
spoke-
facts.
you ever-
Fendi
That's
facts.
Wait,
where
hold on,
the
I was
A&R's
young,
discussion
though.
comes
You ever
in.
see
Yeah.
M after that? You ever spoke to M after that?
Never,
All that?
man, never. It was that's what he. Yo, listen, a lot of artists won't say it. I'll say it.
He's watching right now.
He
He's
didn't
gonna be
mean it.
watching.
He didn't mean it. It was a lot going on. He didn't mean it. Just letting you know.
Hey, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, because a lot of people throw gas on it.
Yeah.
And the truth about it is that, you know, I tried to clean it up in different ways, but it almost seemed like the public liked me better as an angry artist or like me saying angry things. They didn't want to hear me when I did the song, you know, H is gold, AIDS is gold, HIV is platinum. Went for the Levi's soundtrack with the lighting of the tree downtown. They didn't want to hear me talk about those things.
Right.
They didn't want to hear Channel Zero, like on a big level. I talked about things in those records from the first album that today is like the average YouTuber is talking about that. And he's serious about it. People was super chatting him and sending him bread and right?
Yeah.
I was doing that then. So the truth about it is I really just needed a hug, man.
We'll give you one now, brother.
We got you, man. We
all need.
That's real.
Yo, you funny, man.
We'll put this up there.
It's true.
Nah, but I get it.
It's true.
I think
I loved it, Eminem, man. Is you crazy? Like, his ability, man, like, forget about all the sales, because that's what will make thoroughbreds look at each other, and one's gone because not only are they gone because of what they could do on the mic, and even if you could catch up, it's like, yo, man, did you see his trailer that he's in? Did you see the engine that's in there, the NASCAR that's in the back? Did you see the helicopter that'll take them from one country to the other? Did you see they called them Gulfstreams, but you know what I mean? It was jets. I only went on a jet, that kind of jet, Gulfstream, one time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go see the Dalai Lama with who? Clef. Right? Clef exposed me to all of that. So, you know, I was, man, listen to me, man.
He didn't tell you how to make radio records? Clef was making some of the best radio records ever.
You were actually on one of the radio
So let me
records.
ask you this, right? You've been in the studio and recorded, right?
Sure.
Made songs.
Sure.
So some artists, and these are the ones that I admire, you know, like the artists that can go in there and make a record and they just make a radio hit. They just make it a radio hit. And the producer, a producer that you just drop your verse and you leave the studio. That's not what I wanted to do, but I used to really envy, not jealous of, but envy the artists that were able to drop a verse and that producer finished the track and they come back and it's a hit. I never had that, brother. Like, I never had that, man. Like, just play the tape. And the people listening, watching this, they know Canibus never had that, man. Canibus just going there, they just want to just rhyme on a record. If I don't put no hook on it, the producer don't put no hook on it.
Did it confuse you, the fact that I'm sure you got signed based on what you were doing on the mixtapes, what you were doing on other people's records, right?
The reason I got signed is because we got a production deal, right? And I saw an opportunity to be the first artist signing a production deal because I was taking care of all the Lost Boys business in-house every day, all day. You know, from Uptown to Island Records, you know, to, you know, all the deals in between. Oh, you know, this is a good place to say this. Working for Tim Dog Patterson at Uptown Records. Y'all can look him up if you don't know who he is. Charles Suit, I worked with Charles Suit, Todd Ellaby Tears. Shout out to Group Home Entertainment. It was called Group Home Entertainment. We had to make calls in order to even get to use the name because y'all know the original Group Home was getting busy with it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Shorty Nutcracker, yo, they was maniacs.
Yeah.
You had to make calls to even straighten that out, right?
Right.
All right, so now, Tim Dog used to have a DAT box. He was the DAT box sit outside his office. I would be proactive and go in the DAT box and listen to music. and then put it on his desk, which one is what he need to be listening to. I found Winter Wars. I was the one that got Winter Wars with Capadonna going berserk.
What? On Iron Man.
16049 311.
Wow, that was on Ghostface Iron Man.
Fat LP with
Cappuccino
Cappuccino.
on the
I
wax.
remember that day.
Yeah, I remember
Back
that.
then.
That was that shit.
No, but I heard it first though.
Mm.
Because I was the one that put it on Dog's desk. Right?
Wow.
Joe, I wanna know what made you cry. Hey Joe, wherever you at, I put that on Dog's desk. Is he listening?
Yeah.
Joe, I did that. I'm not saying this to be boisterous or poking my chest out. What I'm saying is I was doing more for the culture than just trying to get a deal and come out and rap. I was really in love with music and the culture, the rap music. Like, really though.
Right.
Neptunes. I gave Pharrell and his man the $5,000. I told Dog to do it, to bring them to New York. They already had equipment. So when they came to New York, they just never left. They used that money to, I guess, pay for what they was doing. And we never chased that money back down from them. Because Pharrell used to call up there every day. Yeah, Pharrell Williams. Matter of fact, when he called up there, he'd be like, yo, you know, is my CD up there? Sometimes they would send DATs because they had that kind of equipment.
Right.
Is my dad up there? You know, Pharrell Williams and Confidential. Jermaine Williams, Island Records, how can I help you? Oh, Williams, we must be brothers then. Yeah, Pharrell. Yeah, that's what was said.
Yeah.
And, you know, nobody will ever get him to prove it, right?
Yeah.
But these things did happen.
Right.
So imagine, fast forward, play the tape, and then all these other things that you might want to talk about. I was already damn near crazy just looking at who turned into what and who did what. And I've been sitting around here battle rapping with y'all motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Everything still turned out good. Praise God, man. Praise the Most High. But the whole thing is, at that time, man, it really was like fucking with me though.
I think it
You know, I've settled into my mode now. But at that time, I was trying. And you say like somebody saying, hey, you know, a record like just make a hit record or just tell you what to do. The A&R tell you what to do. They were telling me what to do. But I wanted it rap to be like how it is now, where y'all get to do whatever y'all want to do and have a podcast and do all that. I wanted that then. Nobody was helping me, man. I spent 6 figures in bandwidth back then. Phone numbers, 718-212-914. You know, we had to pay to make them calls. The phone bill was like 8 racks a month. Yeah, this is what I was doing. And not for myself. I was doing that. I was paying everybody's bills from the money that came in from the shows and so forth and soundtracks. But we would jump and roll. But I had wanted everybody to speed up. I remember one time, I think it was you, Nori, maybe I was talking about how I had a laptop or something. I wasn't a nerd nigga running around. I wasn't a nerd nigga running around with a computer.
Right.
What happened was I could get them down quicker in the computer than I could writing them because it's just keystroke. And I did know how to type. If that's nerdy, all right, man. You know how to type.
but that's
It's the way of the world now.
Yeah.
Usually you don't walk in the studio and you're like, all right, I'm almost done with my verse.
Nah,
You know what I mean? How does that look?
Yeah.
Just picture it in your
Nah,
head.
it was weird.
Almost done with my
But
verse.
look at everybody now.
Right.
That's and that's really
You were ahead of your time.
but it was a problem. And you're giving me an opportunity to get that. Oh, you gave me a hug. Y'all gave me a hug. Listen to me, man. You laughing. I could cry.
That shit is real, man.
This is what I had wanted.
We appreciate
Then
what you did for the culture.
I
as
get
well,
it late.
Right.
I get it late, but it was worth it.
Well, you being Canibus, even when I say little slick shit on the show.
I could cry though, for real. I got a hug from everybody. And I got to say to M what I've never been able to say. You can't even say that to a middleman.
Right.
I spoke about how I tried to clean it up with, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Beautiful, man.
What
Well, you
else?
gotta understand, your persona to the people that don't know you
Right.
is almost like the persona they, well, not necessarily put on me, but they think of battle MCs as we're mean. We're just mean people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So anybody that's thinking about coming to Canibus is feel like, oh, I gotta be like this, or I gotta talk to him this way because that's what he's gonna respect because that's what he does.
And you did a lot to fuel that perception.
Yeah.
Tons.
I mean, look, let's see. You know what, man? That sounds great, you know. But look, man. Hey, I didn't really jump out the window and kill nobody.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't.
You killed a couple careers.
No, I don't think so. But the whole thing is this: like musically, though, really, man. Our cloth, the ones we came up in, our drill sessions and how we did it. Bruce Lee. Not to say we Bruce Lee, but lyrically, we'll put his name and we'll do all his moves lyrically.
Who's we?
Bruce Lee. When I say we, I mean like battle rappers, man. Every battle rapper knows who Bruce Lee is, no matter how old they are.
Was Cheats part of this regiment?
No, Bruce Lee is the name of the guy, Bruce Lee, the great, you know what I'm saying, martial arts.
Yeah,
Bruce
no,
Lee.
but I'm saying like as you were doing.
I mean everybody, right? We would put Bruce, everybody knows who Bruce Lee is. You know who Clint Eastwood is, you know who Rambo is, right? The aggression, the things that we will fuel and somehow turn it into a rhyme or what have you, right? Bruce Lee used to sit in LA before he got injured. I read this, and he used to sit in his backyard with his wife and his children. And sometimes, you know, when you go to LA and you're around LA, you're running around, you start to notice these high walls or these high bushes that they cut, thick bushes that they cut. I don't know the name of the plant, but the hedges, but they cut them in a way that you can't just jump through the bush.
Right.
And you can't see who's on the other side. You might hear a voice, you know, it could be MJ back there. You don't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, people would jump his gate. They find his address and they jump his gate. And then they disturb him while he was sitting with his child and his wife. He's be like, you know, I want to spar with you. Right. And so Bruce, I mean, he probably feel like how we would feel sometimes when somebody is just ready for that sparring session. Right. You're like, yo, can this wait? You know, like, what are you doing? And imagine like how that is with rap everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine how that is. You know, I'm not saying I'm Bruce Lee. I'm not saying that.
But you were being called out to that capacity.
Yeah, because
I was outside of hardcore all night. I was there waiting
So that
to challenge the master. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was waiting. So I understand it.
And you know, I had some bad boys who be there in them days, man. It would have been good, man, because they always used to be like, blood clot, bucker up. I know I sit on that, you know what I'm saying? Like, double action 45 on. They didn't want them because they knew that it took me out my zone to perform later on.
Right.
With doing stuff that had to do with money.
And for them, you were the institution, you were the machine, you were the person who was feeding all these people. So
I was just a cash cow.
So they circled the wagons to protect you the same way you were describing Eminem being protected.
Just a cash cow, not an institution. I wish I was an institution.
Well, no, if you're paying the bills, that's an institution.
Wasn't paying the bills.
It's like a sub institution.
Wasn't paying the bills. Just
major.
being a little check that could come in that they could launder bigger money through. I'm trying to show you how small on the totem pole, you know what I'm saying, I was at the time. Like, niggas already had bread, man. They just needed some way to clean it, right? So these are the things. It was like, man, I was trapped. You hear me? All I could do was rap.
So let me break this down. So the people around you didn't have an interest in your career. They had an interest on how they could use it.
Every rapper that's come from the block, I'm from Jamaica,
right?
But every rapper that comes from, you know, less than sophisticated, humble beginnings, right, had that, you know, that money guy that would pay for studio or, you know, make sure you're getting in and out of, you can't have nothing happen to that beautiful voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you can't have nothing happen to that beautiful mind that makes them rhymes, man.
Yeah.
Can't even have nothing happen to that hand that writes those rhymes, you know?
Right.
So that was everywhere, you know, but I had a team, you know what I mean? And that team was also even a threat of sorts to folks that was out and maybe saying, just leave that alone, you know? And I was in the middle of it, man, you know?
Well, I want to go back even further. Because I feel like a lot of your apprehensions and the way that you viewed things was a result of being in the industry and kind of like, all right, I'm that guy now. My life is changing. All this stuff is around me. Now I'm going through this particular situation. This is a situation I want to talk about. You're doing legendary ciphers. or what we call Cypher Records.
Right.
You get a call for 4321. What happens?
Okay, 4321, long time ago.
Did you get a call?
More like I went up to the studio. Jamel took me up to the studio. I know there's Violator pictures everywhere, so I'm not sure what studio it was. It wasn't one of the studios I was recording in or had recorded in before. And
Okay.
you know, Dave Lighty was there. He's my favorite, Lighty. Dave, you know what I mean? And Mike was real young there. You know, God bless, you know what I'm saying? Big man, Chris Light, God bless him, you know what I'm saying? Rest in paradise. But Dave was my favorite, right? Because Dave didn't have any type of, it didn't matter to Dave one way or another if he was assisting me or helping me like get through a tough moment or anything. Chris, on the other hand, hands on, you know, L was on Violator, right? So Chris, you know, and that was baby Chris from De La Soul. Chris been doing it his whole life. You know, I want to send a shout out to the energy and the entity and the essence of Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty was our president. You know what I mean? You hear me? Like Chris Lighty, I'll say it if nobody want to say it. Chris Lighty was our president.
Right. In what way?
He was our president. Chris Lighty was the one man that could make a phone call and get anybody bread right now, legit. Make your music, do whatever, make a problem go away, legit. Make everything. Chris Lighty was the one to do it. You know, get this bill passed, get that bill passed, push it through Congress, whatever type of terminology, semantics you want to lose. Chris Lighty was the guy.
He was the guy.
Nobody's been able to do it.
Shout out to DJ Red Alert. He gave us a lot of insight on the early years of Chris Lighty. And
Oh, he did?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
On the episode?
And the Violators and what they
Oh, yeah,
what
right.
they were really, you know
I
what I
gotta
mean?
watch that. Y'all did that already.
Yeah.
Y'all did it. I gotta watch that one. Shout out to Red Alert. Yeah, word.
So Chris Lighty.
Yeah,
is in the
Chris
building
Lighty is
also.
in the building, and you know, important, right? Irv Gotti was there. And I'm gonna say this because Irv not gonna be mad because look at him now, right? Irv was like, you know, whatever X needed, Irv got it for him. When I showed up, Irv was telling me like, yo, Canibus, man, what are you doing? What's up? Like, yo, listen, I got beats, I got that. We need to talk, so because Irv was trying to build Murder Inc. at that time. But nobody else knew what Irv was going to end up doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Irv was on it with me. Like, the way he was talking to me, I couldn't even, you know what I'm saying, wrap my mind around what he was saying.
Right.
Because I was just saying, man, like, maybe I could just get on this record.
Irv was talking about, 10 years in the future, we're going to be doing it. Wow.
Youth is crazy, man. You know, so.
What was the reception when you walked in the building?
Well, I was surrounded by Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? Now, and one thing I want to point out, man, we got Cali Ranks in the building, you know what I'm saying? Former Def Jam recording artist.
Salute.
You know what I'm saying? You got Blacks, man. You feel me? And Def Jam, he'll tell you, anybody that really worked up there tell you, Def Jam had a conference room. Most labels had a conference room, but their conference room was called the War Room. That's what they called it. Anybody from that time, whatever, they'll call it the War Room. I don't know a label that had any room called the War Room.
Right.
Def Jam was strategic about everything they was doing. And I was told that there was a board in there with a magic mark on it with a line down the middle, right? Everything DMX was doing on the left side, everything I was doing on the right side, and dates to it, you know, date mixtape coming out, Clue mixtape. That's where the first rumor, the DMX Canibus tape, it was written on X's side. And they would cross it off as he would finish his thing and cross mine off. That's how they were studying it. Def Jam. Yeah, Def Jam. That's why they made so much bread, and that's why, I mean, let's just keep it all the way up, bruh, right? Def Jam comedy. When I was at Island Records, right, 10 Dog, Charles Suit, I remember we used to get passes to go down to go do the Def Jam comedy, just sit in the crowd, clap the audience. You were probably doing that too. Clapping in the audience, sitting there looking at the comics and shit, right? Like he used to give us the passes to go.
Right.
Now, we go down there and do it just off the muscle. We weren't getting paid to do it, but there was no press button sample of laughs. It was real. He had the culture come down and do it.
Right.
You know, thank you very much coming out to Dutch and Connie. My name is Brother Simmons. Good night. Right?
Right.
I'm sure that a lot of that mega bread came from selling that catalog many years later. Right? Meaning that that's where a lot of bread comes from. Not necessarily just the music. Because you got all those tapings, all those superstar comics.
Yeah.
It belongs to you, you own it. So you see what you're doing here? I know that, you know, you're on your way to that.
Right.
But you gotta know. You gotta know that that's what you're on the way to, even if you just got all the content.
Right.
And the thing about it is, everybody gets to be rich, not just one dude, because there's so much of it. Because them calls come in, man, it's not just a Netflix call or what have you, man. It's gonna be a call where it's like everybody, you feel me?
Right.
And so that's what he did back then. While everybody was just trying to enjoy the laughs and the stuff. So 4, 3, 2, 1, I was surrounded by that in that room. You know, and aside from Jamel, I was by myself. I didn't have nobody from my label.
So when you walked in, you didn't know
Right.
prior to that,
Right.
your name was on the board
Right.
in their office.
Right. So let me show you what happened.
Right.
You're L, you're about as big as him, right? Stand up. First time I meet LL Cool J, right? No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't do that, man. Stop it.
Yo, shout out to L. Love you,
Stop
L.
it. He
Love
didn't do
you.
that. He didn't do that.
Right.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
Right.
He didn't do that. Now I'm gonna take
Right.
this off because I didn't have this on when I met him, right?
Right.
So watch this, right? You're L.
Uh-huh.
I'm Canibus.
Right.
When we greet, however you feel. No, I'm L. You're Canibus.
Okay.
But however we greet, yeah. But however we greet, just go along with it because this is how I really have my swim, my heartbeat, right?
Okay.
Oh, what up, baby? What up, baby? What's good? What's good, baby?
Good.
Yeah, so yo, I hear you out there making some noise. What's goody with
Right.
that though?
Right.
Huh?
I'm chilling.
You hot? You making it hot? What's
Yeah.
up? Though?
Yeah.
I mean, what's up though? What you doing?
Right.
Huh? You see, you're already acting weird. Look at you. See, whatever, man.
You think
Y'all
I'm
niggas-
acting weird?
Y'all niggas, yo, see, y'all niggas
we
don't
doing?
know. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all ultimately, y'all don't know. Like y'all have no idea. Y'all don't have a fucking clue.
That's why we asking.
Y'all have it. No, but that I can only say that and just leave it at that. And I tried to do the record. I got on the record, and then the rest of it went crazy.
Okay, when you
Because
like-
y'all know the rest of the story. But I'm happy to show you that part. Glad you give me the opportunity to show that
But there's
part.
details that I don't know. Like, was he there when you laid your verse?
The first time, no. No, he wasn't there. He
Did you
wasn't in the studio.
mean, all right.
And I didn't
Being
lay the
that you're-
verse that night.
Right.
I did another record on the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Get Money or something, on the Phenomenon album. I can't remember. It has something to do with Get Money.
Right.
And I did that record, and Busta was on the hook with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what the name of that, but I'm on that record, it's in the credits.
Right.
So, and that's what we did that night, and he was like, you know, we'll see what's up, come through, maybe do something else.
Right.
And then 432 happened.
Now, did you grow up like looking up to LL
Of
Cool J?
course, man, is you crazy? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, 9 shots to Dawn Radio, you know what I mean? Like, walking with a pant down bad, like, are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm Bad was actually the first rap record that I memorized.
you remember? Are you out your mind? Like, cause he could do it all. He was a do-it-all, you know what I'm saying, a do-it-all MC or, you know, artist. It was bigger than an artist to us, to me at that time.
Right.
He was also young.
Right.
Do it all. He was a do-it-all.
But he was the persona.
Of rap.
Like, if you was to trace my DNA,
Right.
as far as like lyrical abilities and all that, and trace yours,
Right.
it would lead back somehow
Right.
to LL Cool J, because
Some
he
of it-
was the guy that was like,
Some of
I
it gonna
battle
be there.
anybody. What's up?
Some of it gonna be there.
Right.
But let's you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not just run out into the thorn bush barefoot. Like, it was Rakim,
Right.
it was G-Rap,
Right.
it was Kane.
We
Right.
talked about this.
No, I know, but there was so many that got
that
busy.
era.
That got busy though.
Right.
At least compared to now, no. Now it's like it's everybody get busy, right?
Right.
But back then, there was at least about 2 dozen MCs. I mean, you had Showbiz and AG, you had Big L, you had DOS Effects, even though that style you know, I think it aged well in terms of creativity, but you know, nobody's rapping like that no more. But they were getting busy.
But I say in the
They confused you in the cipher. You had Southern Dwellers, you had Diesel Don the Governor, you had Redman, you had Keith Murray, you had Little Jamal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had some wicked, dangerous MCs. If you wasn't watching yourself, you get on the track and they'll make mincemeat of you.
Right.
This.
But the persona of these MCs, just being honest, Mama Said Knock You Out was a single.
So you
Look, you dig what I'm saying?
I run with you all day. L was a superstar,
Right.
an ultra star.
Right.
So no, lyrical niggas didn't have that essence what L had. We all know that though.
Right. Right.
We all know that.
Okay, so but seeing that, because you're seeing
Were you trying to be
all
that?
the other videos and then the
Were you trying
and
to
the
be
hoodie
that?
in the middle of the ring, like I'm like.
Were you trying to be
nobody
that?
else wasn't doing that. As far as
I wasn't trying to be that. Was you trying to be that?
Yes, I was trying to be that.
Oh yeah, all right. So now I know more. I wasn't trying to be that.
You know what
I knew I couldn't be that.
Right.
Because I knew I couldn't be that. Look at
Right.
me. Do I look like that? Like, come on, man.
That thing's about to look.
It's everything. It's everything. It's everything.
So
Second
you're
round
meeting this guy.
kind of looked like Mama Said Knock You Out video wise.
Second round looked like David against Goliath, man. That's what that was. That was the
You
little
was in the
one.
ring.
Point it out. Point it out. Yes, please.
You was in the ring.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of boxing references.
Uh-huh.
Right.
You know what I'm
Tyson
saying?
was in it.
But
Right.
but you did that. A lot of boxing training. He was working out. She was
I
running
had to
50
make
miles
it
on
entertainment.
soft
This
sand.
is for the block. I had to make it entertaining. I put a piece of chicken on a stick to get the panther to go back and forth in the cage, because you can't order it to do it, right? So I had to put the chicken on the stick and walk back and forth to the cage to make the panther go like this. You know what I mean? I had to be entertaining. I had to make it be what I wanted it to look like.
But did you
But did
know
you
it was
realize? Yeah.
Did you know it was going to end up? Well, first, did you know it was going to end up going there after your initial verse? We never got
After
back-
4-3-2-1?
Yeah.
4-3-2-1, like, I'm gonna keep it all the way, but second round knockout, it had went to different levels by the time I did second round knockout. Like, I had tried to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I was, 19, 20?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think maybe I was 21. But I knew that I was trying to smooth it out as best I could.
Because you did the video.
But if
after
you
that.
know anything about Elsie, you talking to me,
Mhm.
I just shake your hand. You didn't know what to do when you was Canibus and I was L just now. You didn't even know what to do. No, you didn't know what to do. You didn't know what to do.
Thank you
And
for
you're a
that.
pro now. You're a pro.
Yeah.
And you still didn't know what to do. Back then, I know you wouldn't have known what to do. I didn't know what to do,
Mhm.
right? And so I tried to, you can't even talk to him. Like back then, even now, you can't even talk to him, man. How you gonna talk to him? Who you gonna call to talk to him? Back then,
Nah, I could.
you can't.
I can't.
Right. But now?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about now.
Talking about
Say
then.
back
No,
then.
but back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who you
But
gonna
you
call?
from Queens?
I'm not
He's from the
from
Oh,
Bronx.
no, I'm sorry.
From Jamaica. I
But
stayed in the Bronx.
Your
for a
people's,
year.
you didn't have no
Look.
ties? You didn't have no.
I love you, but L's not that kind of guy. You must don't know him.
Mm.
Do you know him?
No.
You don't know him, man.
You know.
I don't know him like broke bread with him, but I've been
So
around
both
him.
of us don't know.
I've been around him more than you, probably.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Right.
You're a pro now. I don't know.
Right. Right.
But the point of this is, where you're getting at is,
It was all in his court in terms of, I was a youngin'. All I wanted to do was rap.
right.
He knew that. Everybody in the studio knew it. Everybody knew I just wanted to rap.
Right.
Redman let me get on the joint, do 50 bars and rap.
Right.
Tony Touch let me get on there and rap. They can't even say what you want to say, man, and go home, man.
Mhm.
I'm still who I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it got to the point where it felt like it was a squeeze.
Why do you think it was a squeeze?
I mean, getting left out of the video is good, maybe indicator that they don't want you in it.
All right.
Being in LA and shooting the whole 4-3-2-1 and then, not being in it.
You shot that original joint with them in the same room?
4-3-2-1,
Yeah.
the video,
I remember you had the football thing in the second video that had Master P in it.
there's only one video with me in it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Was it the
I wasn't
original?
even there. I was in LA. I got flown out to LA because, there was a skiff between the big wigs and they finally agreed to put me in it. and there was an argument because they didn't even want to pay for my flight, my ticket to come and see y'all scratching at wounds and scabs. It's like, it was crazy, right? Now, L didn't have nothing to do with this, but it did happen, right? And I wasn't out there with the original shooting of it. That's why when y'all asked Redman's on YouTube, and Reggie's like, yeah, you know, yeah, oh yeah, L wasn't having it and all that, man. Like, nobody else wants to really talk about it. I don't really want to talk about it. Like, did you see he was on the Grammys last night? You know what I mean? Right, so I don't want to be, you know, I don't want it to look like, you know what I mean? I don't want.
But not in that way, you know, what I'm saying.
Because I love it all. And I'm gonna say this about that whole situation, right? We all know what, you know what I'm saying, Mayweather is, right? We all know what he did for boxing, right? Everybody got their opinion of him and Zab, that fight, or Ali and Frazier, right? Everybody got their opinions about it. The question is, what I would want people to apply to, I don't want anybody to do anything. People do what they want to do. But what I would say about that is Frazier. Frazier's a champion, right? Even though he lost that one, right? I'm asking you, I don't know. Is he or isn't he? Is Frazier, is Joe Frazier a champion or not? Why is it so hard for people to just look at it that way with the second round knockout? Like, why is it so hard for them to just say, you know, why they want to come sit at my table during, you know what I'm saying, Thanksgiving and say around the table with my family and everything that I'm not a champion? Or why do they want to drive home that point? Or why would they want to not just leave that alone and look at it like, you know what, 2 champions did their thing, 1 champion was really the champion and went on, and then that other champion can still do his thing too. Instead, it becomes an anvil of sorts, you know? And if the hug just stops with a hug, but then it turns into a knife to the back, you know what I mean? That's happened to me too, you know what I mean? So I'm not new to this, man.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So in the realm of battle rap, let's say there's a new battle rapper. He's fire. He's body and shit. You get a couple tweets from me. It's like, yo, I want to see him versus you. But you're like, he ain't putting that much work, but y'all got that much faith in this thing? So when you meet him, it's like, I'm going to size you up.
Who, me saying that?
No.
Him, yeah.
When I meet that battle rapper,
Right.
I'm going to size him up because people already thinking So that first initial meet, it's a size up. It ain't gonna be, you know what I mean? It's gonna be weird. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it weird because I'm sizing you up.
That was crazy though. You didn't even know what to do, man. You was
but you get what I'm saying?
At 19 years old, fresh in, and you've been spoiled because everybody else just let you do what they want you want to do on
and
the
get
track.
the fuck out the way.
You've been spoiled. You're not used to that energy from somebody like him.
Nah, no way, man.
There's no way to get used to it.
Because it's the same kind of energy.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's what he's
How
describing.
did you end up in a ring in your video? And how did he end up? It's
I
that
had to
battle
make it
MC
entertaining,
energy.
but I had to make it entertaining at the same time.
No, I ain't mad at that.
Because it was for hip hop. It wasn't too. I had no, you know, I was too young to even be thinking about playing chess that way.
But
right?
But innately, that's where you both was at. You dig me?
Yeah.
It's just that, my friend. When you're the type of person that's like, yo, I'm gonna devote myself to my craft. I'm gonna be the best. Any place I go, I'm smoking shit. There's some people that just be like, I just want to write a good song. I just want to be able to, you know, rap to the ladies.
Do my 1, 2.
I want to do my 1, 2. Oh, I want to, you know what I mean? I want a Billboard hit. I want to work with Uncle John or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you dig what I'm saying? And then there's the niggas that's like, I want to smoke everybody on this shit. And when those niggas meet, it's a size up. Whether the new battle rapper knows it or not, he might be a fan of Math Hop. He might be, yo, Math, you don't understand him. But I'm looking at him like, nigga, you ever in your life, you know what I'm saying?
Come fuck with
you ever in your life think that you gonna come stand in front of me, I will crush you. That's in my head. You dig what I'm saying?
Hey, look, you know what? Look, man, I'm Jamaican, man. I got whipped a lot as a child, dog. Like, I didn't need that kind of extra discipline, man. I just didn't need it.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about in a lot of ways.
No, but follow me.
I didn't need it, bro. That shit made me uncomfortable.
Right, but follow me.
Even as a child.
Follow me, though.
Yeah.
He's a Def Jam. You said your name was on the board. You're not even at that label.
That
Put all
counts
the
for a
pieces
lot.
together.
Yeah.
Threat.
Put all the
Threat.
pieces together. Sizing you up. And then you say, yo, that mic on your arm, let me borrow that. My nigga, if I'm already in the
We
zone.
talked about the mic.
Hmm?
We talked about the mic. I
In person.
asked.
Right,
I asked that night
right,
because I did that record with the Get Money track.
right.
And I asked him,
Mm-hmm. What did you?
straight cheese. Like, I asked him about the mic. I said, yo, that mic, Cheeks always talked about that mic. Mr. Cheeks was talking about the mic on the road, in the van. And yo, he was talking about mic, they was talking about tattoos, dopest tattoos in hip hop.
Right.
This would have been like, what, 93?
392.
92, I was in high school in 92. So it's been like 93, 94.
All right.
Cheeks was talking about that. So in 97, when I saw it, I was being a fan, man, or being like a stan.
Right.
I said that to him, like, oh, Cheeks always talked about that mic. It really is wicked, man. Look, what if I got one of those? You would be vexed? You know, would you be mad if I got one? After I'd already done the hook, he was like, yo, stack it, baby. And I stacked the hook, and he loved the song, Get Money song. So I thought maybe I could ask.
Right.
And I did.
Right.
He said, yeah, no doubt, baby. Yo, you could get that, man. You know what I'm saying? As long as you rep it, you could get that, right?
As long as you rep it.
As long as you rep it.
How was you supposed to rep it?
I didn't think that he meant, all right, yo, we're going to battle for 25 years. Yo, I had no clue. You feel me?
I guess that's what it meant. You know what I mean? But
That's not what it
it's
meant.
not what it meant. But I'm saying, like, bruh, I get it. You know, people try to say not to take certain things personal. And shout out to Lil Russell, because I got this from him. He was like, you know, people say, some people hand you a fucked up contract or whatever, you're not supposed to take it personal, because it's business. But if your business supports your family, then how do you not take it personal, right? This became an issue for a lot of people in the battle culture, where a battle rap match would become real beef.
Listen to him.
You dig what I'm saying? So now you gotta understand, there's $1 million budgets with y'all two. Everybody's talking. How do you not become in that mentality of, oh no, this is really war. It's really war.
I saw a YouTube video with DMX in School, the Fat Man. And School was asking X who are his top 20 artists of all time, rappers. Get busy, lyrical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? X was
He said you like 3 times.
right.
Right.
All right, Snap. Tell them what happened. But make sure you say how School left my name out, G.
Yeah, but X
Keep
made
it a
sure.
buck.
Yeah, X said your name at least 3-4 times. Cannabis.
School.
Cannabis. Mad times.
Yeah.
And how and he had to remind him and then keep right.
Yeah, he kept.
Right.
That's why he kept saying your name.
Now,
remember that.
thank you.
I remember that.
Right.
But the thing was, when School was mentioning the other names, he mentioned the name of the institution. Well, now we've been talking about institutional names now, because
Right.
there's another institutional name.
Right.
So when he mentioned that name second in the lineup. So why would he say my name then? He can't say my name.
I get
He's not
it.
allowed to say
The
my name.
politics of it.
He's not allowed to.
The politics.
But
of
this
it.
is something that you can't prove, right? And this is something that you can't really, you sound crazy walking around talking like that. And I really don't mind, because why? X, God bless his soul.
Right.
He said it. See, because
Right.
God is really here.
Right.
He's really here. He's not doing other things. Sometimes he come down, check up on things,
Right.
and make sure that there's a balance to things.
Right.
And I gotta tell y'all right now, even this show, this feels like a balance because it's cleaning up a lot of things. And at the same time, hip hop is still better off for this and not worse off.
Right.
Whenever it's becoming like about to be worse off for things, because look, there's other podcasts I could go to that, you know, things will be worse off. You know, we know these other podcasts you go to, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be drama.
Yeah, you let me bring in my own Malibu and pineapple. You didn't force feed me anything.
Right.
And so, and you allow like just natural speak. And when you're talking in the battle rap thing, how that energy could go left, go south.
Yeah.
That's the realest thing you should do. I'd be down to do anything with you to let's come up with a anger addiction prevention, rap, battle rap prevention hotline or something, man. Because look, dudes
what
be
has to
going
happen,
through it.
You know what really has to happen is they have to see me and that person shake hands.
Right.
Then everybody,
Right.
I can be his fan again.
Right.
There
I had
you
to
go.
stop because of my loyalty. But I really liked them. You know what I mean? But I had to stop because of my loyalty. But once those hands shake and it's like, yo man, good shit, nigga, good shit. That's when everybody else go, That's when the entourage that was like this the whole time go, yo man, good shit, you know what I mean?
Fendi facts. And the thing is, you're saying it, you proved it tonight several times to me.
Right.
You proved it to me. You've been through a lot. You've been through a whole lot. You rose above.
Right.
You still got a lot more to do. We all do. You know what it is. The pressure increases.
Right.
Right? What you did that tonight. The question is, man, and what we want to pose all the youngins watching this is, don't take too long to do it. You know what I'm saying? Life is fleeting.
Yeah.
It's my 25th year anniversary. The Grammys last night was a 50-year anniversary, right? We all put into that. All of us, we put in to the hip hop thing.
Right.
The genre, the culture, the phenomenon of music, this music that nobody owned and nobody controlled, and then bang, it came out, and then it got, it went through slavery.
Right.
Our rights movement, right?
Right.
But don't let it take too long, man. Like, it's not really worth it. Like, that's what I can say. Like, in terms of you letting these rhymes come to life, you gotta know that, look, I was there, when the album cover, Life After Death, came in the room and they were looking at it. And Biggie standing behind the hearse, it made me just like, I was just so scared for him. Ready to die.
It does look spooky.
Yeah.
Like you look at that
like
album
he knew what was
cover
coming.
now.
I saw it.
It looks ghostly. It looks like a.
I saw it first. I saw it along with the first folks that took the pictures.
Right.
And they came in, they put it on the table, and they were cutting it with that thing, and they were shaping up the page.
Right.
And I was over there, did that, probably listening to Joe's Win Awards, right? And they said, yo, Will, come look at this. And I came, he said, you don't want to see it, it's hot. I came over there, I looked, and I was standing behind them looking, and they looking, and it was hot, but as I got close and I looked at it, I did say to myself, man, on my heartbeat, I said to myself, wow, man, like, I don't know if he's gonna make it. I said that as a youngin' looking at it because I instinctively knew, ready to die. We was all ready to die somewhere or another. We all hopped in that car, that 90, that 80, that 82 Chevette that the tire's so bald, the mosquito bite is gonna bust you over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all did that to get to a show, a performance, a talent show or something, showcase. But I knew that Ready to Die was an open and close, like, classic. It's open and close, start with a heartbeat, end with a heartbeat. Life After Death looked like something else to me. The artwork, that is.
Yeah.
The album was dope, but the artwork. And so, don't wait too long. Don't make things like that and flirt around, flirt with them energies and make things,
Yeah.
and then take too long to, you know, say, you know what, maybe I should U-turn with this. That's all really, but there's nobody that's telling brothers that, man. Instead,
Okay, he's speaking in code. What he's saying is, he don't got no beef. He don't got no beef. You know what I'm saying? We all part of this thing, hip hop, that we love. 50th anniversary. Bury the hatchet, whatever it is. It was an art. It was supposed to be art. It wasn't supposed to take form and become like, I can't show him love, I can't show him love. It wasn't supposed to be that. We were supposed to step the fuck back and enjoy it. Wow, that was dope. Wow, that was dope. Okay, everybody's good, let's go home. It wasn't supposed to turn into, you stay over there. I can't, it's my man. But I get it.
you know what
get
you
put
are
in
now?
those positions.
All of you, because I watch y'all in here. You know what y'all are now?
A hypocrite.
Double OGs.
Cuban Link gonna be like, you're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, y'all are double. Hey, y'all are double OGs. You're not OGs, man. You double OGs. That's what all of you are. I'm trying to get to triple OG status, man. In order to get there, we have to help each other at them heights.
Yeah.
It's a way different kind of, you know, ground to run on and a way different way to jump rope. It's not no OG way.
When you get there, by giving people the same opportunities you was given,
Triple OG status.
triple OG status. If you put people in position, that's when you're triple OG. We're gonna take a 5-minute break.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.